Strangers with Kittens. Gen X stories from the least parented generation. Before us didn't grow up the way we did, and people after us didn't grow up the way we did. People before us, gender roles were much more rigid, and there was usually a mother at home or someone at home and supervision. And then after us, they were like, oh, there needs to be childcare. There needs to be preschool. There needs to be aftercare, clubs, scheduling. But for us, it was just good luck.
I'm loving do you have a turtleneck on?
I
or like a
do. I
track-
do. It's a turtleneck. It's not a
with
tracksuit.
stripes on the.
Yeah. It's
I
it hit
love
me that I'm
it.
like, I'm dressed 70s. I'm dressed Gen X.
You
like
are
even
so
my hair,
70s
my
in the
glass.
coolest
It's so
possible way.
funny. It
It's
makes
so fabulous.
total accident. This is how I dress normally. This is how I dress.
It's the best era.
We had a brown jug in our basement that wasn't labeled, but everyone, the family knew to stay away from it because it was chlordane. Chlordane. It's like the most toxic chemical. And we had a jug of it. And if we had, I don't know, ants or something, my dad would pour it around the outside foundation of the house because it would kill everything. And I mean everything. And of course, anything in the dirt goes into the groundwater. So everyone's drinking that shit. And I mean, I think like my brother might have gotten rid of it finally because my dad just thought it was the greatest. And it's like, talk about killing a fly with a sledgehammer. It's like, I think it's overkill. I don't think you have to poison every living thing.
One time I went in the basement, and I'm not making this up. There was a bag of hair. There was a bag of hair, and it said 60-year-old man, 1 week. And I go, Dad, what is that? He's like, I'm trying to invent something for the drain in the shower.
Like a Drano or a liquid plumber
Like a thing that would pull hair out of the drain. And
or
I
a snake. Yeah.
whose hair is it in that bag? He's like, that's mine. And I was like, ah!
Like there was a kid who broke into our house. I use the term broke in, but we didn't have a lock or even a handle on our front door. So it was basically a swinging door. So broke in is a sort of I'm using that term loosely, but he was mad at my brother. And so he got home before we did. Like he got to our house before we got home from school. And then he pounced on my brother. He was hiding behind the front door. And when we came in, he jumped my brother. I was in elementary school. I think my brother might have been in 6th grade and this kid might have been in like 8th and 7th, something. And he jumped on my brother and he was just like wailing on him. And I remember my brother covering his ears, just like curled up in the fetal position on the ground, covering his ears so his ears didn't get like, he didn't get cauliflower ear. And I ran to the kitchen and got the biggest screwdriver we had and held it by the metal side, like the side that you would touch the screw. And there's that hard resin handle that was kind of like, I feel like it was made out of the same material that phones were made out of back then. It was like indestructible. And I just started pounding him on the head with this handle to get him off my brother. And he was so mad and he ran home. And then my brother was mad at me. Like instead of heralding me as the hero that I was, he was mad at me and like said he could fight his own battles, which believe me, he couldn't. Not when he got jumped unexpectedly in his own home. He was definitely not holding his own. And then the other kid was mad at me for beating him in the head with a screwdriver. But it's like, what do you expect if you break into somebody's house and jump them?
And yeah, I remember when I was like, probably like around that, no, younger. I was probably like 10. And we were, me and my friends were playing behind the Little League Park on the rocks, and we're playing, and I fell, and my butt landed on, because, that's where the teenagers drank their beer bottles, and they would, crash their beer bottles.
God.
And so my butt, I was like, ow. And I went home, and I looked, trying to like get a look at my rear end in the mirror, and there's this huge, like, chunk. I didn't tell a soul. I didn't tell anybody.
Oh my God.
The glass was out.
Yeah.
I had to throw away I threw away the bloody underwear. I didn't want my mother to see the bloody underwear.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I thought I would get in trouble, but it was just this sense of like, you don't need to bother anybody. You know,
I see it with my kids. Like, I'm so happy. I'm so proud of Gen X as a generation because I feel like we broke down so many barriers and we took the trauma that we had as kids growing up neglected and kind of feral and figuring out our own way, and we have a particular set of skills, and that's great, but we don't wish that for younger generations. And maybe we're a little more helicoptery than we needed to be, but we made sure that kids coming after us maybe didn't need to be on a milk carton. You know what I mean? We gotta make some changes here, you know? And I feel like it's the same thing for that kind of stuff, like celebrating other cultures and just accepting everyone, whether it's like body positivity or everything. Like, I see what my kids are growing up with now, and I'm so happy.
Yeah.
And I'm also a little sad from young me.
Yeah, I
You
know
know,
what you mean.
I mean, it's, yeah, like, I can't help it. I'm really glad for them, but there's a little part of me that's like, you know,
Oh, but I think you're right. We are who we are. And I do think that because of how we were parented and how we then kind of tried to overcompensate for that, kids are just a little weak, maybe not as resilient as we are.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah. Like my
for sure.
like kids are nowadays just like if you yell at them, they're like, I don't feel safe. And when it was
Oh my
our
God, I know.
parents, it was like, yeah, you're not supposed to feel safe.
You're
So
you're not, just to be clear. But they played that song by Chumbawamba, and my friends and I were like, oh my God, we never would have danced to this song in the 90s. And then we were like, let's go. And it was like the lyrics of like, I get knocked down, but I get up again. They're never going to keep me down. And it's like, fuck yeah. Like, you don't even know the half of it. You don't know how many times we've been knocked down and got up again. And here we are.
If you like the show, please rate, review, and share on social media. Strangers with Kittens contains nothing artificial. It's certified humor. Produced by Ashley Aker, music by Chris Hajian, and recorded in front of a live audience of dogs.